It makes us feel that it's not just a group of token women designers, but they really are.
Physically, and the idea of craft and things that are made that are very personal and emotional.
It was extraordinary to see, and talking to some of the department stores in the...
You can't bully my staff. 5 words, calm yet final. That single sentence cracked the polished surface of Paris Fashion Week like ice under a stiletto. No theatrics, no chaos. Just quiet authority from Anna Wintour, and suddenly a duchess froze mid-stride. Picture the scene: champagne fountains glittering in mirrored halls, cameras gasping light across black marble, the world's elites lining Balenciaga's front row. Every diamond smiled under the spotlights. Every movement was perfect until it wasn't. Backstage, friction built unseen. A whisper sliced the air. Anna Wintour never raises her voice. Yet that night she did. Someone's phone caught it, a 30-second burst that would soon explode across every screen on the planet. What you're about to hear isn't gossip. It's an empire versus empire collision. Old money silence against new money spectacle. Royal glamour colliding with fashion royalty. And the fallout didn't end with one viral clip. It rewrote careers. Before we walk into the catwalk inferno, take a breath. Because behind every camera flash that night waited years of rivalry, protocol, and power. Hours earlier, outside the Balenciaga venue, something felt wrong. The Paris dusk thick with perfume and pressure. Security guards were unusually alert, hands to earpieces, eyes scanning corners. Assistants clutched clipboards like shields. Even the seasoned photographers sensed tension humming beneath the velvet. An intern brushed past whispering, "She's on her way." A phrase that should have sparked excitement sounded instead like a warning. Because when Meghan Markle arrives, the world rearranges itself, and not always willingly. Then horns. A black limousine appeared flanked by 2 SUVs. Door handles gleamed like mirrors, opening in synchronized rhythm. It looked less like a fashion entourage and more like a diplomatic convoy. Flashbulbs detonated as Meghan emerged in head-to-toe Balenciaga white. Precision tailoring, immaculate poise, the embodiment of control. Crowds surged closer, lenses followed every breath. Yet the usual cheer was missing. People watched her, yes, but not with adoration, with study, curiosity, calculation. The city of fashion had turned analyst. Inside, where candles flickered against mirrored panels, the atmosphere froze again. Paris Fashion Week obeys its own ancient language, silent hierarchy, subtle gestures. You don't break rhythm, you observe, decode, comply. At the heart of that ritual sat Anna Wintour, legs crossed, posture ruler exact, sunglasses reflecting decades of dominance. When Meghan entered, Anna's stance sharpened almost imperceptibly. A single vertebra straightening signaled volumes to those who knew her. People felt it. Pages stopped rustling. Stylists held breath. 2 storms were heading toward each other. Everyone else clung to the eye of calm. Meghan's heels echoed across marble like punctuation marks. Her entourage flowed around her, assistants negotiating, whispering instructions, adjusting itinerary details. Within minutes, they approached event coordinators, requesting tweaks, lighting refocus, camera placement, seat adjustment. Requests quickly turned to directives. Paris operates on reverence, not revision. Seating charts finalize weeks before the first flash. But Meghan's team wanted change. The seat closest to the designer, already promised to Vogue's deputy editor, suddenly became crucial for visibility. The coordinators smiled politely. Everything was set. Meghan responded with icy sweetness. Maybe Anna won't mind sharing the spotlight. Conversations died mid-sentence. In this kingdom, implying you might displace Anna Wintour equals sacrilege. Subtlety vanished. Anna tilted her chin enough for sunlight to catch the edge of her bob, lowered her glasses for half a second, then returned them, one motion saying, "Noted." From that instant, the night transformed. Even before fabric touched runway, Meghan's team kept the phones buzzing. Lighting needed softer warmth near her section. A producer laughed outright. "This isn't a film set, it's Balenciaga." Paris Fashion Week runs on invisible order, the kind forged through decades of craft. You don't rearrange light for personality. You adapt yourself to the show. Still, before the runway began, a videographer aligned his lens 4 seats behind Meghan, hers. Staff exchanged uneasy glances. When house lights dimmed, the difference was immediate. The crowd hushed into awe. Designers' work glided down the catwalk. Normally, reactions follow rhythm. Brief applause, murmured appreciation. But Meghan's claps arrived half a heartbeat late and far too loud. Every tilt of her head landed perfectly in her videographer's frame. Each whisper staged. Editors whispered among themselves. Who is she performing for, the clothes or her camera feed? Along the walls, staff began calculating fallout. They'd seen stars misbehave before, but this was something else, a takeover of culture's sacred space. Throughout it, Anna sat motionless, her stillness louder than applause. Veterans recognized that immobility. It meant she was recording every movement, engraving names and details that would never fade. When the final model vanished behind the velvet curtain, applause thundered genuine relief. Fashion's heartbeat resumed. Guests gathered wraps, exchanged kisses, drifted toward champagne stations. Not Meghan. She rose instantly, signaling her guard. Straight toward backstage she marched, the one realm guests never breach uninvited. Beyond that curtain lay controlled chaos. Half-dressed models, assistants packing garments, steamer hoses hissing, technicians balancing deadlines. Into that hurricane glided a duchess, followed by a camera operator capturing every angle. An assistant, barely out of college, intercepted with her practiced courtesy. Madam Markle, may we direct you to the lounge while we reset the stage? Meghan didn't pause. Her voice, honey wrapped around steel, cut through noise. Do I look like someone who waits? The assistant flushed crimson, murmuring apology. Meghan adjusted her ivory jacket, syllables falling cool and slow. I was invited personally. I expect to be treated accordingly. Every seamstress, makeup artist, and dresser within earshot froze. Balenciaga's backstage runs on hierarchy, but also respect. Guests rarely witness its order, none challenge it. Her team pressed forward, carving a path through racks of garments. Someone's heel snagged a cable, sparks blinked. A model gasped. The choreography of post-show breakdown imploded. Somewhere down a side corridor, Anna Wintour heard the disturbance. Her assistant murmured, "We can leave through the garden exit." Anna paused, listened. Voices, not ordinary chatter but defensive barking, echoed through the corridor. Without changing pace, she turned toward the sound. Those who've worked under her swear they can recognize her stride before seeing her. Precise, metronomic authority. That was the rhythm now. She rounded the corner to chaos frozen mid-motion. Meghan's entourage crowding the workspace, interns backing against walls, silk gowns crushed between garment racks. Anna removed her sunglasses 1 deliberate inch at a time. What's going on here? The words landed like icy rain. Everyone turned. The young assistant stammered, "It's fine, Miss Wintour." A gloved hand lifted barely an inch. "That's not what I asked." Now the air went tight as thread. Meghan pivoted, 1,000-watt smile armed. "Anna, darling, there's just been a small misunderstanding. I was simply, you can't bully my staff." 5 words. Soft as silk, sharp as crystal. Shock cracked Meghan's expression. The practiced mask slipped. Silence devoured the hallway. Anna stepped closer, serene. "You're a guest here. Behave like one." Time stretched. Even the cameras stopped whirring. Then Meghan exhaled through gritted teeth, lips curving into diplomacy. "If that's how you want to handle things, I understand." Anna waited. No nod, no smile. Simply watched until motion returned to the world. "Let's go," Meghan murmured to her guard. They exited in formation. Whispers erupted the instant her heels faded. "Did you hear that?" She actually said it. Anna Wintour. Back in the limousine, Meghan's tone turned clinical. "Did anyone film that?" One aide hesitated. "Possibly." Phones were out. Her gaze glazed over as Paris neon streaked the window. Because if cameras had captured that exchange, it was already halfway to viral. 3 days later, Paris woke up to thunder. A 30-second clip of grainy cell phone footage hit the web, Anna's calm voice, 5 words, then Meghan's stunned silence. Upload time, 2:14 a.m.m. Within 60 minutes, it was reposted across every platform with a single caption, #YouCan'tBullyMyStaff. By breakfast, CNN, BBC, and Sky News were spinning it on repeat. Talk shows dissected facial microexpressions as if decoding diplomacy itself. Fashion blogs froze frames to study gestures, posture, the subtext of power. Commenters chose sides instantly. Some called it overdue justice, others labeled it bullying and couture. One influencer tweeted, "Paris Fashion Week finally had a plot twist better than television." The difference was one of silence. Because Anna Wintour didn't say a word. No clarification, no apology, not even a cryptic emoji. And everyone in fashion understood her silence for what it was, a statement stronger than any interview. When the Queen of Vogue chooses stillness, the world interprets for her. By noon, PR engines around Meghan roared. A stream of smiling photos appeared. Visits to children's charities, art museums, humanitarian galas. Every image dressed in benevolence, every caption whispering grace and kindness. But comments beneath told a different story. Kindness doesn't need a camera. So now she's rebuilding? Too late, we heard Anna. For years, Meghan had commanded her narrative, on talk shows, in documentaries, through interviews choreographed like choreography itself. Now she wasn't scripting, she was reacting. And that shift, one invisible frame change, was the beginning of collapse. Within the fashion elite, whispers moved faster than Wi-Fi. Invitations that had been pending remained pending. Collaboration proposals vanished mid-email chain. A publicist confessed after 2 glasses of wine, "We pulled her gala invite." Vogue said it wasn't advisable. 2 words that echo like corporate prophecy, Vogue said. Career momentum evaporated quietly, replaced by strategic silence and polite avoidance. You see, the fashion world doesn't shout when it exiles someone. It simply forgets them. Then a bombshell. A French trade publication, L'Officiel de la Mode, printed an exposé titled The Balenciaga Backstage Incident. What really happened? Buried in paragraph 3 was dynamite. Investigators had traced the upload back to inside Meghan's own team. The source? A junior aide barely out of her 20s. Text logs showed uneasy conversations with a fashion blogger days before the show. One message stood out, "You'll get what you need tonight." The tenses didn't lie. The betrayal was pre-planned. Suddenly, speculation twisted into conspiracy. Had Anna orchestrated the leak from afar? Had disillusioned staff staged a reckoning? Or was it simple human exhaustion? An employee pushed past limits, choosing exposure over loyalty? Whatever the truth, social media metamorphosed into wildfire. Threads connected dots between Condé Nast alumni, teen Vogue veterans, stylists who once whispered under Anna's command. Then came an anonymous TikTok account, username Truth From Inside. No intro video, no selfies, just screenshots. Each image claimed to be an internal message from Meghan to her team, precise, commanding, unsparing. Fix the lighting before I arrive. Move me closer to the designer row. Never allow photos from the left side. Steam the code again, I don't care if we're late. Captioned beneath was one chilling line, "This is why I recorded her." In 5 hours, the post hit 2 million views. Comments turned ruthless. So that's leadership? Imagine working for that. Influencers read the screenshots aloud in dramatic monologues. By dawn, the account vanished, deleted entirely. But nothing vanishes on the internet. Screenshots multiplied like spores across Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube Shorts. The genie was permanently uncorked. Inside Meghan's circle, panic bloomed. Devices were checked, access credentials reset, NDAs waved like flags. Yet as frantic as they felt, one rule dominated: absolute silence. Any denial would validate the scandal. Meanwhile, in Vogue's marble corridors, there was calm, the kind of calm one associates with victory long secured. Anna didn't need to comment because the game had already been won in whispers. Then, at midnight on a Tuesday, a paragraph appeared almost unnoticed on Vogue Business, the publication most insiders read for numbers, not drama. Vogue remains committed to maintaining environments of respect and professionalism. Our collaborators are expected to uphold the same standards. No names, no drama, just 31 words assembled like marble. By breakfast, The Guardian ran headlines calling it quiet yet unmistakable. WWD described it as an open rebuke wrapped in elegance. Vanity Fair didn't bother with subtlety. You can't bully Vogue either. Every publisher understood. The ruling had been delivered. Fashion houses pivoted overnight. Collaborations disappeared behind strategic realignments. Stylists stopped returning calls. Photo editors claimed calendar overloads. That single paragraph had frozen an entire celebrity brand. One luxury label sent a message only 12 words long. We've decided to pursue a different direction. Thank you. Translation, you're done. Then came the dinner question. At a Louis Vuitton soiree, an audacious reporter approached Anna in sequined armor and asked about the incident. Anna smiled faintly, tilted her head where the chandelier caught her bob, and said, "I don't discuss distractions." Then turned away. That one word, distractions, punctured deeper than any insult. She hadn't called Meghan difficult or unprofessional. She'd classified her as irrelevant. In culture wars of power, being labeled a problem is survivable. Being labeled noise is terminal. In the days that followed, drafts of statements littered Meghan's PR cloud like snow. 5 versions apparently written, none released. The realization dawned. Any response would tether the story further to her name. The only remaining strategy was silence, an imitation of Anna's perfection. But mimicry isn't mastery. Fashion's invisible gates had already swung shut. Weeks later, editors quietly swapped Meghan's scheduled features for newer faces, actresses celebrated for humility, designers praised for discretion. Invitations to shows evaporated. Stylists who once fought to dress her confessed to scheduling conflicts. This is how high society burns bridges. It doesn't torch them. It replaces them with fog, so you can't even find your way back. Inside their marble fortress, Vogue never revisited the issue. Anna neither gloated nor lamented. She simply redirected attention to next season's line, the ultimate gesture of dominance, forward motion. An insider summarized it best over espresso to a reporter. Anna doesn't destroy people publicly. She erases them privately. Erasure had arrived. Not with hashtags, not with tantrums, just a soft deletion from invitations, a missing name from seating charts, a blank where a smile once stood among social pages. All because of 5 measured words spoken in a corridor of silk and chaos. And therein lies the legend. Those 5 words transcended gossip. They became law. In a media age addicted to overreaction and confession, Anna Wintour reminded everyone that real authority often whispers. For Meghan, the lesson was brutally clear. In someone else's kingdom, charisma isn't currency, respect is. She entered Paris Fashion Week expecting a stage and discovered an empire where the spotlight belongs only to those who built the chandelier. The fashion world's verdict echoed softly. Visibility can be bought, but credibility must be earned every unforgiving season. The story's final irony? Meghan tried silence at last, but silence already belonged to Anna. Days turned into months. The internet found newer scandals. Yet within fashion's marble corridors, the memory endured. Every intern hears it whispered like a moral. Check your ego before the runway lights rise. Because sometimes power doesn't roar. It simply waits until thunderous chaos stills, then utters 5 clear syllables that end entire arguments. You can't bully my staff. 5 words that confirmed who ruled the room. So, what did we witness in Paris? 2 worlds colliding, tradition versus spectacle, heritage versus hype. Anna Wintour's empire built on decades of rigor meeting Meghan Markle's brand of constant exposure. One valued discretion, the other worshipped visibility. In a night of flashing bulbs, the industry made its choice. And that choice still is reverberating. True influence doesn't chase applause, it defines it. If this story fascinated you, tap the like button. It signals the algorithm to share tales of power and consequence. Comment your take below. Was Anna defending respect or enforcing dominance? Subscribe for more deep dives into fashion's legendary clashes. celebrity strategy, and the unseen mechanics of image. This has been the story of 5 words that shook fashion.